The U.S. Senate on Thursday voted to end military support for the Saudi Arabia-led war in Yemen, with members voting 56 to 41 in favor of the motion. The largely symbolic move sends a strong message to U.S. President Donald Trump, who has repeatedly indicated his backing for the Saudi regime. Read more. When it comes to Saudi Arabia, Germany turns a blind eye. A number of Republicans crossed the aisle to join Democrats in supporting the resolution, which cannot be debated until January, when Democrats take control over the lower chamber. Yemen, one of the Arab world's poorest countries, has been caught in a power struggle between a Saudi-backed government in exile and the Shiite Houthi rebels since late 2014. Humanitarian organization Save the Children estimates 85,000 children under the age of 5 have died in Yemen since the war started. The Senate resolution, which gained momentum after the killing of Saudi dissident journalist Jamal Khashoggi, is an unusual invocation of Congress's authority under the War Powers Resolution. Senate pins Khashoggi murder on Saudi prince. The Senate also approved a resolution condemning Khashoggi's murder on Thursday, saying Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman was responsible for it. Trump has so far avoided laying the blame on the Crown Prince, and when pressed on the issue said the U.S. intends to remain a steadfast partner of Saudi Arabia. Read more. Yemen is the biggest humanitarian disaster in the world. Independent Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who votes with the Democrats, said the Yemen vote was a historic moment. Today we tell the despotic government of Saudi Arabia that we will not be part of their military adventures, he said. The Senate vote came as the United Nations Secretary-General on Thursday announced that Yemen's warring sides had agreed to a province-wide ceasefire and withdrawal of troops in Hodeidah, a contested Red Sea port city. The UN has identified conflict as the root cause of Yemen's crises. More than 10,000 people have been killed since the conflict erupted in 2014 when Shiite Houthi rebels launched a campaign to capture the capital, Sana'a. In March 2015, a Saudi-led coalition launched a deadly campaign against the rebels, one that has been widely criticized by human rights groups for its high civilian death toll. The conflict has prevented humanitarian aid from reaching large parts of the civilian population, resulting in 60% of the country's 28 million people being classified as food insecure. At least 2.2 million children are acutely malnourished, according to the UN World Food Programme. UN Chief Antonio Guterres has urged the Security Council to pressure warring parties to allow aid in. More than 2 million people have been displaced by conflict, including marginalized communities such as the Muhammadin, a minority tribe that originally migrated from Africa. Despite the civil war, many flee conflict in Somalia and head to Yemen, marking the convergence of two major migration crises in the Middle East nation. Yemen hosts more than 255,000 Somali refugees, according to UNHCR. As of October 2017, the number of suspected cholera cases exceeded more than 750,000, and at least 2,135 people had died from the waterborne bacterial infection in Yemen in 10 months, said the WHO. Although cholera can be easily treated, it can kill within hours when untreated. By October 2018, over 10,000 cases of cholera were being treated weekly. In Yemen, violence goes beyond civil conflict. It is considered a strategic front in the war on terrorism. The country serves as the operational base for al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. Dubbed the most dangerous terrorist group before the rise of the Islamic State, the U.S. routinely uses drones to target al-Qaeda leadership. However, civilians have often been killed in the operations. In a country paralyzed by conflict, children are one of the most at-risk groups in Yemen. More than 11 million children require humanitarian aid, according to the UN Humanitarian Coordination Agency. The country's education system is on the brink of collapse while children are dying of preventable causes like malnutrition, diarrhea and respiratory tract infections, the agency said in October. Despite several attempts at UN-backed peace talks, the conflict continues to rage on. Saudi Arabia has vowed to continue supporting the internationally recognized government of Yemeni President Abed Rabbo Mansour Hadi. On the other hand, Houthi rebels have demanded the